journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, I posted this chart yesterday because I wanted to explain, we had this big gap Sunday night. Oh, there it is right there. There's the gap we had Sunday night. Remember, we were watching Bitcoin and said that there was risk on. So that was one of the reasons why we thought it was going to gap up. And, of course, there was the big gap in the NASDAQ. Then during the day, you see it pull back right before the open, the stock, this regular open. We made it 382. And now, folks, we've hit 26,150 today. Now, what we'll do is we'll bring it up and take a look at that and see how it's acting compared to all the other stuff that's going on. Now, I'm just going to bring this up here so we can see the same thing, and we're going to move this over. This was an hourly chart we were watching, so let's get that out of the way right here. There's where we were on that 382 right here. That's the one we were, see that gap, and then move right here. And that's what we've done so far. We've had a couple little ABCDs, but this is really, really big volume here. Looking at this on the daily, folks, all this is related, from what I understand, to Jensen Huang speaking in Washington, D.C. at the special conference where they're going through and showing everything that is happening, to artificial intelligence. I mean, been nice to know it back in here. Anyway, this is what has been going on with that. Now, people have asked me about the grain markets and stuff like that, and folks, that was just ABCD stuff. That's really all it was. We got boosted because evidently the Chinese are going to be buying more wheat and more corn and more beans, and that's good because no one's going to stop eating that stuff. So that's pretty much it. Now let's take a look at one of the things that's not affected by AI, and this is the Russell. Okay, now there's the Russell over the past several weeks. You can see we have the big ABCD up here. Remember, this was a new high. The market broke down today. There was your 382 off of the low right back here. So that held. It's rallied up. It's made a 50% retracement. Now, this is acting like a normal stock market. These other markets like the Dow Jones and things like that, there's so much emotionalism in there that you've got to factor in that. So it's really, really difficult to pick a top. So that's why you've got to be careful. I mean, even with the S&P doing what it's doing, it's difficult to pick a top because it's got a bunch of the AI stuff in it. And by the way, okay, now here's another one that we need to chat about. We've been very bearish to gold. And today we hit something very, very interesting. I had the chart up, but I lost the darn thing. There was our 382, came in off the last major correction. Remember, this was a $100 correction? That was a $300 correction right here. And you can see the correction here stopped right at, you know what that was, folks? That was down 2 standard deviations on the day. That's exactly what it was. And it's had a very good rally. If you move up and look at this on the hourly chart, you're going to see that it looks like a pretty good rally right here, correct? But all we're doing now is, you can see, just going up from the last high that we made back here. We're going up to make another 382 retracement up here at around 405. That's all that happens to be. If you go down to the smaller time frame, you can see a pretty good trading range here because there was your pullback right here, and then you had that market go back up again, and so it's still having a pretty good rally. We rallied $80. But folks, when you're down over $400, $80 is not very much. But that's what's been happening today. The key to the gold market was right here, folks. Let me show you why. The market has had a pretty good rank and makes a nice pullback here. Then it comes up and then it pulls back one more time. Now this is $20 break in gold, folks, right there. But this to me was the key, because if you look to see from the low to that next low right here to that high, that came in exactly at the 382 of that move right there. And that meant the market was going to go up. And where should it go up to? None other than the little ABCD that we look at so often. And that would take you up to the promised land up here to about 379, which it's got to, and where it's trading right now. Now, you notice we had a nice little correction here, another $20 correction. That should have been really close to the next 382. If you'd went up and marked that, that misses it by about $2, but it's still trying to turn and make a little bit of a movement to the upside here, because we're up $80 off the bottom and we're still halfway through the trading day. So it could get a great deal more on the upside. Now, also, I posted last night in the video that I sent out that there was a really interesting pattern happening here in the Treasury bonds, and it's still valid. I just wanted to show you right here. Get this out of the way so we can do it together. This is a head and shoulders pattern, folks. There's the left shoulder. There's your head. There's your right shoulder. Came in exactly at the 786 retracement right there. There's where it was. It hasn't done very much. All it's done is back off just a little bit, but that is a head and shoulder. It's just perfect. See, your left shoulder higher than your right shoulder. The distance between your head and the shoulders are equal. Let's just double check it. I'm just eyeballing it, but let's just check and see where we are. Pretty close. So that's exactly what that is. That's right out of Andrew Lowe's book. And of course, if we get above here, then we got a chance to see if it's going to go higher. So far, all we've been able to do is, it looks like we backed off to the 382 is all we were able to do this morning. Let's see how close we came. Well, we came within one tick of the 382. So hasn't done much, but it's still a head and shoulders pattern, and it is in the process of completing. Well, the pattern's completing. Whether it's going to get above here or below here, we have to wait and see if that's going to be the case. All right, now look at the gold again. See, it's still popping up. It's still got some oomph today. This is good. All right, now let's move over to the crude oil, because remember talking about crude oil, we had this pattern here last night that said it looked like it was going to be a pretty good pattern. And we said you could have bought it and it had a little bit of profit in it, but ended up being about a break-even trade, because you're back at break-even right now. There's your ABCD pattern right in here. You had a small ABCD in here. That's all it's done right now. But that was the pattern that we were looking at, and it held up relatively well. Remember, we suggested selling on this, and now it's come down into this level right here. So that's it. I will spend a few seconds here on some of these grains, because we've had some big moves here in the grain markets, and I would like to go over those. I also want to cover a couple of currencies. Let's do the currencies first here, since we've got the euro right up here. Here's where we are in the euro. We're still very, very bearish this euro based on that long-term monthly chart. We're almost to the 61% retracement, folks. We almost hit it there. There's where we'd like to sell it right there. Now, we had a pullback today. It's still bouncing around. I'm hoping that, well, hoping is not a good word, but that's where I'd like to be a seller, is that level right here at this 61% retracement. Now, on the pullback here, looks like we made about a 50% retracement of the move. Let's just double check that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, it makes a 50% retracement, and now it's just bouncing around. I think we're going to get here one more time, and then we should start to roll over. That's really what we're anticipating here in the euro. Okay, now next one I want to talk about, hold on one second, we'll get it up here. I covered the bonds, covered the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is so powerful that it's just unbelievable. If you saw those videos, or saw him on Jensen Wong in the market, you would have really been surprised. Now, here is the Dow Jones, okay? Now, this is...
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, this is the Dow Jones, and as you can see, we have a weekly gap. There's where we were Friday. This is Monday, Tuesday. It's a weekly gap. That's very, very unusual. Usually it's an exhaustion gap, but you can see it's still going higher. We're up about 600 points. I think the Dow's up about 400. Yeah, I see it's up 375 right now, but it was backed off just a little bit earlier in the morning, and then it went straight up based on Microsoft coming out and putting in a couple of $1 trillion or whatever it was into some of these markets that we're watching here. So there's gaps everywhere on all these things. So they're usually exhaustion gaps, but how high it's going to go this level, all I do know is when it's over, it is going to be over for quite a while. That's really what we're trying to stress here. Just be really careful when you're doing some of these things, because they're not always going to go up for sure. Well, we don't know that for sure, but let's take a look at a couple of currencies here since we're doing that. We've already done the euro. I want to share with you, this is the Australian dollar. Someone asked about it, so we will, where is it? Yeah, it's right here somewhere. Where is that Australian dollar? There it is right here. Haven't looked at this in a while. Should be having a pretty good move because of the thing with the grains. You can see how often I update this, but it's had a pretty good range here. This is because of the grains have been on the fire here these last few days with the tariffs being dropped and all that other stuff that's been happening. So that's why the Australian dollar. Also, if you remember, we've had a position on short the Canadian that has been doing pretty well. I just want to bring this. I haven't checked it as of today here. And we'll just get up here. We'll just do this with the 30-minute, see if we got a little bit of a action on the downside, which we have. There's a move to the downside. Look this up on the daily. You'll be able to see what we were looking at here. There it was right there, and now it's come down to the 382. That would be your profit objective on this, folks. That's a little over $1,500. You're risking 300 and it's acting pretty well. So this is your first profit objective would be coming in right here. This is where I would be taking the profits because you don't want to give anything up. And that's basically what could go a lot lower, of course. But what we're going to do is I'd suggest you take your profits at that level and then not move on to the next trade, because there's always another train coming by, folks. Had a question about the wheat. Let me get up here and we'll talk. And I've got a bunch of questions on some stocks, and I will try to cover those. One of them is Oracle, of course. But let me move up here and talk about the wheat for just a second, because that was the one that everybody gave up on. And we'll get up here, put the daily up so we can all see it together. Okay, now they are going to eat pizza, cookies, and pasta eventually. Can see that's exactly what we've had. We've had a very good rally off of that. Same 3 drive pattern. They work upside down, backwards, forwards. They don't work all the time, but that's it. But look where we are now, folks. We're almost making, in just a few days here, we're almost making a 382 retracement of the whole move down. We're only 3 or 4 cents away at that level right in there. That's a sign of pretty good strength. Plus, we left a gap here on Monday morning. See that gap? It opened at 16 and rounding up to 36. So that's telling you that the market has changed here in the wheat. So get ready to look to be buying that on a pullback. Also, we need to talk about the soybean meal, which is another one that everybody gave up on. And we'll get up here and take a quick look at that. And that is even done. That's been El Fuego, because that's this is real protein, folks. You can see here there was our profit objective was right there, and it went through that like it didn't even exist. Let's clean this up a bit because we got too many lines on there. There we go. There was the ABCD to the downside. Okay, there's the buy, and that's been one really big run here, folks. So it's good to see that you've been able. That's been. In fact, we got out of it here. And we gave left another $1,100 on the tube there. So that's what we're watching here. But there was the profit objective, and that's continued to even go higher than that. Looks like we're almost at the 61%. No, we're even above that. Yeah, no, not yet. They're almost at the 61% retracement of this whole move down. But look how quickly we got there. Boy, if this thing backs off, you want to be really ready to buy it. 3 or 4 days down at a 382. Looks like it's done pretty good. Another one that we've looked at, we weren't involved with this one because we were in the meal and the wheat, was the corn market. And it also was doing a lot of the old ABCD stuff. And we'll get that up. There it is right here. And it is, it backed off a little bit this morning. Let's see how far we got here. There was the buy right in here on the corn. As you can see, it's had a pretty good rallied about 38 cents, which is quite a bit. Now, this is a new high, so we need to come over and see if what that was. Oh, I can tell you right now, it's 50% from the high right back here. I'll bet you it hits it right on the money. No, it's a little above the 50%, not quite to the 618, but that was a pretty big number right up in here, but we went through that a little bit. So anyway, that was a nice Gartley, and that one worked relatively well. Okay, now let's do one other thing before the break, and then we're going to look at some stocks when we come back up. We're going to take a look at the live cattle, because we've been quite bearish on live cattle. They're due for a little bit of a bounce, but I don't know if it's going to be much or not. Here it is where we are. There's where we are. Remember, it was limit down here, so we're going to go to a smaller time frame here and see what we've had so far. Even there, look at this, folks. There was a limit down the other day, okay? There was Monday's move down. Remember, we had to sell there, and boom, down it went. Look at this rally that we got here. It was nothing. This little rally went 24, rallied 4 cents. That's all it was. Probably exactly 382 off of the high of this leg right here. Meat prices are dropping, folks. Well, it went above the 382, it went to the 50% level, but then you can see it's still lower and lower. If you look at this on the daily, folks, this is what the stock market's going to look like one of these days. So be careful. These patterns don't change. My timing might not be the best, but my analysis sometimes could use a lot of improvement. Anyway, this is what will happen, but when it'll happen in our lifetime or not, I'm not quite sure, but nobody else is either. Let me check and see the old clock on the wall here and see how much time we got. Oh, a minute and 40 seconds. That's 2 lifetimes for Al. Hold on. Let's take a look here at some of the stocks. We'll start out with NVIDIA. So that's the player of the day. It looks like it's going to hit $200 today. That's what the odds makers are saying. And we'll get this up here right now. And I think we're pretty close to 200 aren't we? Well, no, we haven't made a new high yet. This is the high has been 195. This is where we are. They're in New York with Jensen Huang is giving his sales pitch just like Steve Jobs did. But boy, does he have the audio visual stuff behind him. Oh my gosh, some of those graphics are like a two-story building, and he's got a lot of people in there. They all got their cell phones out, and they're all buying NVIDIA. So there's what NVIDIA is doing today. It also gapped up to that level. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at Tesla. That's had a big move to the upside today. I happened to glance at the machine, and it was trading again at 460, which was near the old high, as I recall. Let's get that up. Oh, I got to do one other one that's important, but I'll cover that when we get back from the break. There's where we are right there. Tesla is back up there. You can see we're almost back up to the old high, back there at 490. Now the little pullback that we had here, I think it was just about, from that, it was just about, let's try it again. Looks like it was exactly about a 382 retracement. Yeah, just about spot on, so it still looked friendly. Looks like Mr. Musk is still going to have a job. All right, we'll take a break, folks, and we'll get back, and we're going to look at the S&P 500 cash.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstadt's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstadt releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, this is the S&P 500. I want to clear this up here just to show you how important this is. I'll get rid of all this stuff because it's not what I want to really cover. And I'll get rid of this butterfly right here because I want you to see the true gaps that are here. Okay, now this is a breakaway gap to the upside. There's gap 1, there's gap 2. Folks, in the history of the Dow Jones, there's never been anything like this, okay? This is really, we've had some gaps, but nothing like this. These are huge. This is, please let me in. I'm afraid I'm going to miss something type gap. So when this is over, we're going to do something like this, only much, much faster. In other words, this dropped in one day. You can see it drop from 674 down to 52. That's a tremendous stop, right on the bottom. But it'll be something like that. It'll be reversal of some kind. I don't know what'll cause it. It could be anything. But when it does happen, that's what will occur. With these big gaps, you just go back and look at, you can see gaps here, but almost all of these gaps are filled, folks. These are filled. Now, some of the backs from many, many years ago, many years, well, I don't want to go back, but back in 2009, there was no gaps until 2011, and then there were some gaps in 2014, 2017, but those have been filled. But these are beginning gaps. This is how markets end, folks. They don't start this way. This is how they end. I keep saying that, but and I'm a broken record, and I've got to stick up with the broken record. You can see here, that's a 1.618 expansion here today. Off of that, we've already gone higher than that. So it's pretty hard to want to be able to do it. And 90% of, well, not 90%, but a lot of it is related to the emotionalism of NVIDIA and the NASDAQ, all the other stocks. I mean, Qualcomm comes up, Oracle, everybody's got a different story every day. Now, we've had a question about Oracle, and I'll bring that up here today. Just get 1 second here. Because remember, that was the $100 billion day that Larry Edelson had. Yeah. It's only one thing in the, that's how I remember. Okay, there's Oracle right now. Now it's, oh dear, let me get this out of the way here. What happened to the Oracle chart? There's Oracle right here. Now you see Oracle had this monster day here where Larry Ellison made $100 billion, okay? And since that time, it's been in a down move. It's right now, I believe it's basically unchanged on the day right now. So it's not doing too much with that. Now, we had some news yesterday on Qualcomm, and it gave some of it back too. So the emotionalism that we're seeing in these markets is supposed to be what's happening, but you've got to be super careful. Even with all of that, look, our our S&P is still sitting right at that number that we were looking at. The number was 69.24. The high has been, 69.30. It's trading at 69.25. It did very little. If you looked at it this morning on just a real short-term time frame here, there was your low. You probably made a 382 retracement right off of that. Misses it by a couple points, but now we've come up and we're still setting at the same area for a long time. It's an hourly chart. So you can see we've had some big moves down and they're not big, 20, 30 points, but that's what's been happening here. So that's what we're watching. So I just giving you a heads up. When it does happen, folks, the one thing I know how to do is trade a bear market. So when it happens, we'll be doing pretty good, but I don't buy breakouts and I don't chase markets. Every time I've tried to do that, I just sign my checks directly over to Chicago Mercantile Exchange and pray for the best. That's all I can say. All right, we've had a question about soybean oil, so let's get that up here. And we got a question about Palantir too, but we'll do the soybean oil because we're getting really close to, with all the stuff that's going on with the tariffs, this is one you really want to be watching, folks. This is the long-term pattern here in the soybean oil. Get it up here. We're getting close. You see, we had a little move here. It doesn't do very much, but now we're getting down into this area here where we got some pretty good stuff happening. Let's just draw these in and draw them all in so we can see them together, because this is the one that is very similar to what occurred to me way back when I was a little shaver. making lots of mistakes in the market, and that's what we want to be watching. There it is right here. We want to be watching this one right in here at 48, down about another 2 cents here in the soybean oil, and that'll be setting right at the 50% retracement of this whole move right in here. And I think that will be one that needs to be taken a little gander to as far as having a place to buy something, okay? That will also be a little bit of a 3-drive pattern at that point also, but not very symmetrical. See, that's the problem. It won't have much symmetry, but it'll still be a 3 bottom. So that's why my limit minder is set down here for a little bit lower, and that's pretty much it. So keeping a very, very close eye on that one. I've been asked to take a look at Palantir, so I'll get that up here. This is supposed to be the next NVIDIA from my friend Mr. Jameson, who's a pretty smart dude. Palantir is right there. Should be up to 200, pretty close, isn't it? Oh, we almost got there today or yesterday. There it is. Yesterday, Palantir got up to 190, 192. John was buying this at 30, folks. That's where he was buying it, right down here at 30. And he sold it at, I think he got out about here. I don't know if he ever bought it back or not. I never asked him about that, but that's a hell of a move itself. In fact, let's just take a quick look here and see if that's a big ABCD here on this one here, as it probably is. Yeah, there it is, 194. And so far the high has been 194. Well, 186, so it's pretty close. All right, that's that one. Now we got one other question, and that is about the hold on one second if I can find the platinum, because that has been under a great deal of, it had a little bit of a bounce today. Here's where we were yesterday. Now you realize the gold made a lot lower low today. Okay, platinum did not, and it's had a pretty good rally of about $90. See that low? The gold took that out. This did not do that. So that tells you that maybe that bottom is a little stronger than we think. Let's look at silver just to see, because even though we've had a nice break in silver, I don't think that that's the end. And as you can see here, didn't even make the 50% level. Missed it by about 2 or 3 cents. So this should be really pretty good rally that we're having here, and that's what we're seeing it. I think we're still going lower, but right now we should get a little bit of a bounce. You look at here, we've been down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. That's about all you get. So we should get a pretty good rally, and the rally should come a minimum of 382, and that would get silver up here about $1.50 higher at that level right there. So I'll put that limit minder in to tell me if we get there, because if it's really bearish, it's not going to get any higher than that level right here. That level in the gold is $4,090. So it's the 382 back of the gold market. All right. Okay, we have another one here to take a look at, and that is the SP. I've already did the SPY. Where's the semiconductor TSM? That's right here. I'll be right. We're Tucson's Taiwan's.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, this is Taiwan Semiconductor. I had ABCD pattern right here. Gentleman from Hong Kong bought that right here at 140. Okay, and right here when it was 240, he said he had taken care of all of his college educations for his children, and he was wondering what he should do. And I said, well, in order to guarantee that you got that, you've got to sell. And of course, it gone up to there, and I get an email saying, please don't ever contact me or send me any more information ever. And so I responded, no problem, but that's what I would have done, and that's pretty much what I've lived by. I'm not going to get the high tech, but that's the way it goes. I remember, well, I've told the story before about John Hill, the guy, the old farmer, came in and said, made more money than I'll ever make. I'm going to never have to work a day in my life. And John says, well, he says, what should I do, John? He said, it only takes one word and you got that guaranteed. He says, what's that? He said, sell. Well, he never did. And that was 1980. And gold went from 860 down to 223. And he lost almost all of his money. He still had 30% of it, but that was quite a bit. All right, let's move on here to a market related to this. And I'll show you the mistake that I made with this gentleman. Hey, I gave him my opinion. And, opinions are like armpits. Everybody's got one, and it usually smells. Let's take a look here at this Hong Kong index, because I still think it's making a major top. We're going to get the weekly up here in this, because that's what we're seeing. It's right around this 26, 27,000 level. And there it is right up there. See, there's where we were. See, here's where we were when I gave him the recommendation, okay? And that stuff kept going up. But there it is right there. We're sitting right there at the 61. That's 61% of the highs from way back there, folks. This has not been a multi-year bull market. This is just a correction in a bear market in Hong Kong. So that's what we're watching here with that. So that was my description of what I thought was going to be happening. Happened to be wrong, but that was my 2 cents worth. And like I say, if you pay more than 2 cents, you're paying too much. Okay, now let's get up here. We've covered the silver. And we've covered the NASDAQ. Oh, we have to be covering NVIDIA because it just made a new high. I just checked the tube over my shoulder here, and it showed me that NVIDIA had just made a new high on the day. So let's take a look at it as it's happened, because the people are there, they got their cell phones and they're all buying. I know that. Starts with an N, doesn't it? Where does ends are? Ends are up here somewhere. There, come on, Larry, get your thing together. There's NVIDIA. Let's just get up here on the 30-minute. And we just made new highs. Yeah, we do. There we do. We just did it right now. They just made a new high in NVIDIA at 196. That takes out the old high. There it is right there. And so I just saw it pop up as it was going through here to take a look at what was going on here. Looking at this on the long-term weekly, it's got this big pattern here, but, we're above the 1.618 by a little bit here too also, but these used to mean something, but with all the fundamentals out there on artificial intelligence and it's going to change the world, then who knows where it's going to go. The one thing I haven't done, folks, I don't stand in front of it very long. Personally, I might, but not for anybody else, and I don't do that very often. So anyway, that's what we're watching here with this. Someday it will have a correction, and it'll be a dandy, but it probably is not going to be today. See, the S&P has not quite made a new high on the day yet, but we're very, very close. Remember that it measured to 69.23 or 69.27, and we're just flirting with this, to get it to go higher. So there's nothing here that would even be exciting to even think of it from the short side, okay? So those are the ones that I'm, paying attention to here this morning. Let's get some of these out of the way here so that I have a question here on the Japanese yen. So get that up here and take a look at it. One of our favorite instruments for foreign exchange. And I'll take the British pound in just a second here. Okay, we're coming down to finally getting a bottom that'll be tradable, I believe. There's where we are. We had the big run up. Okay, now we're pulling down. We're almost to the 382, folks. There's where we are. There's our high, our low to our high. Our setting at the 382 as of today. There it is right there. Your 382 is held so far. That's a good sign. You got a higher bottoms in here, but it hasn't really taken off yet. So if we get below this, that tells us that this is nothing more than a 382 pattern. That's really all it is. We'll blow it up so we can see it together. But that's exactly what it will be. There's your X, A, B, C, D, and there's your 382 right there. You can see it. There's your 382 right there. And so there's where we are. Either way it can go. Gets back above here, it's a 382 on the downside. Below here, it's a 382 on the upside. That's where you have to play it. Odds favor the prepared mind, and I would say it is getting ready to go lower, folks. That's my 2 cents worth. But like I say, you spend more than 2 cents, you've overpaid. All right, we got the Japanese yen out of the way, and we covered the wheat. The soybeans was the next one someone asked about. That's been a big mover, mainly because of the meal. That's the one that we like the best. Oil was secondary, but to get the soybeans up here, there's our November beans. Nobody wanted these a few dollars ago, but you can see we backed off a little bit today. Let's see why we came off. Okay, there's our big run here. That's a big move in beans, folks. We had the meal, we didn't have the beans, but let's take a look at this on the daily, and you can see where we are. Oh, we just completed a big ABCD. No wonder it did this. Hold on just a second. There's your AB. There's your CD, and remember, we have a gap in here. So what do we have to do? We got to change that to a 1.27. Come over here. Missed this one. Son of a gun. Should have been paying attention. 127. That brings you right to the old. See where we got to there. Said tonight, the high was 9.1. Look at 4 cents, folks. Misses the exact high by 4 cents, and here's where it is right now. So that should be a pretty good correction coming in here because that caught a lot of people by surprise. All right. So another one that we're watching very, very closely here this morning. Okay, now here's the NASDAQ. You can see here we are getting ready to make new highs again. Let's just get this up on the shorter time frame, and you'll be able to see it here. We are making new highs. We just did it just a second ago up in this area. This is the Ensign map. I have to delete that because I'll delete everything, delete it all. So that's what we're looking at right here. Intraday, this is an intraday chart, and boy, it's a wild one. Look at this swing in this one, folks. This is if you like ABCD, there's a big one right here. I think we got one forming right about now. Let's look and see where we are. Yep, it's going to be right here at about 261.56. would be my guess. So whether that means anything today or not, I don't know. But I wouldn't be selling it up here, not with this much strength. My goodness. But let's put the beeper in just for kicks and giggles to see if we do get there, because that will be an interesting one to be watching. All right. Let's see. Our Dow Jones is also making a new, not quite making a new high as of yet, but still relatively close. And the S&P, we've already gone over to see that. And it's pretty much what we're watching here. Now, let's get this. Well, we're going to make this. This is going to be beeping. And there, it's already hitting. There's your NASDAQ hitting the number, folks, as we speak, right there, making a new high. That's it, right there on the NASDAQ. Let's get this out of the way here. Come on now. Yeah, there it is right now. It just beeped. That tells you that pattern just completed right there of that ABCD. Whether it means anything, I don't know. It's just ABCD.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, our guest tomorrow will be Stan Harley of the Harley Stock Market Letter. He'll be giving us some insight on what he's looking at. And then on Thursday, we're going to have Mike Moore of Moore Analytics as our guest. And on Friday, I think we're going to have Shane Smolian as a repeat, because he's been talking to us about this coming rally, and it's certainly one that we want to remember. But we've just made that number, that ABCD right there, 26156. And we'll find out if it means anything. It probably doesn't, but it is an ABCD. You can see it's almost exactly 61%. That means if you would do the whole thing, you'll see that the 1.618 is going to be banging up there on the other side of this, which is when it gets above that, you know you're wrong, but there's where your ABCD ends up as we're watching here right now. So that's what we're paying attention to here this morning. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And we'll see you on the flip side in tomorrow, and we'll have some fun doing some of these charts again of what we're watching as we do these charts each day. So thanks again, and we'll see you post mañana, and may God bless.
Steve